Please enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. To enable audio controls, please enter your audio PIN followed by the pound or Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an organizer and may now speak to any other organizers or panelists on the line. When you are ready to begin the presentation, press star 1 to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi there. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, hello, Aaron. This is Christina. Is that you, Mr. Mendez?
That is correct.
Great. Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. Sorry, I just wasn't too sure. I was looking at the blue screen. I didn't know if I joined the meeting or not.
Actually, if you could speak a little bit more clearer into the microphone.
Sure. Give me 1 second. Hi there. Is this better?
Yes, that is great. Thank you.
No worries. Yeah, I wasn't too sure if the meeting had started. I couldn't hear anything.
No, we have not started yet, but we will in just a minute.
No worries. Take your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would like to call the February 18, 2025 City Council meeting to order at 6:37 p.m. The public is encouraged to join the meeting online or by phone at the number printed on the agenda, which can be found on the city's website at www.diamondbarca.gov, or in person, Main Auditorium, South Coast Air Quality Management District. We have also allowed public comments to be submitted in advance to the city clerk. If any were received, they will be noted for the record when we get to the public comment period. This meeting is being recorded, and by participating, you are giving your permission to be televised. This meeting will be rebroadcast every Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. and alternate Tuesday at 8 p.m. and archived for viewing on the city's website at www.diamondbarca.gov. We now proceed to the Pledge of Allegiance, invocation, and the roll call. And please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Andrew Chow. And then please remain standing for the invocation by Jim West, Director of Shevering Mysteries Evangelical Free Church.
Thank you for the committee council. Thank you for the dedicated staff, the wonderfully diverse residents, the great businesses, the lovely setting, our green hills and our stylish buildings. Come join us now and bless your people with patience, grace, insight, wisdom, and caring. We thank you for all these things that we ask in the precious name of our Lord Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor West. City Clerk Santana, please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Chow,
I'm here.
Councilmember Liu,
Here.
Councilmember Lowe,
I'm here.
Mayor Pro Tem Tai,
Here.
Mayor Tang.
Here. Next item is approval of agenda. City Attorney Sandoval, are there any reportable actions from the closed session?
Mayor, there's no reportable action this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager Fox, are there any changes to the agenda?
There was one minor red line correction to the title of item 5.4, which was provided to the council at the dais.
Thank you. The agenda is hereby approved. And we do not have any special presentation, certificate, or proclamation from the city today. And next item is a city manager's report and recommendation. And Mr. Fox, please report.
Thank you, Mayor. It's my pleasure to ask Captain Towsey to join us at the podium and introduce a new public safety team member.
Good evening, Mayor, council people. So we had a little change of a little shakeup in our personnel recently. And so just kind of give a little bit of a background since the city's inception, April 18th, 1989, 36 years, only 3 prior community relations deputies have been assigned to Diamond Bar. Larry Luter, Mark St. Amant, and Aaron Scheller. So now we have a 4th, which is kind of amazing when you think about it, all the turnover of personnel and transferring in and out, that people, especially the deputies, love working in the city so much that they stay here for as long as they do. So it's a credit to the citizens, it's a credit to our department, it's a credit to them. So I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce, is she around? Where's Nancy go?
Here.
Nancy Farias. So she's been a deputy since October 26, so she's got a little over 18 years of service. She's been at Walnut Diamond Bar Sheriff Station since 2018. She's been working patrol here in the city of Diamond Bar quite a bit, so she's already got a foundation with the citizens and the folks here. She's worked patrol, she's filled in as a temporary turning officer. She's also filled in as our watch deputy, which is the person who oversees our desk. And you can kind of imagine the various calls that come into our desk and how chaotic and crazy that can be. And she's filled in for us when we needed her. So when it came down, when we found out that Deputy Scheller was leaving the department, I got to tell you that the decision was easy for Captain Towsey and I. As soon as we got the word that Aaron was leaving, we were like, it's Nancy, for sure. And so I'd like to welcome her to the podium here to say a few words, but she's going to be great for Diamond Bar. We're real proud of her, and we're happy for the citizens that you guys have a great community relations deputy moving forward.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good evening. My name is Nancy Farias, and I've been a deputy sheriff for 18 years. I served Diamond Bar Walnut Diamond Bar Station for the last 7 years. I want to say thank you for this opportunity. I am excited to take on this position. I know we're replacing Aaron. Everybody loves him. We know. I have big shoes to fill. But I'm excited, and I want to say thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Diamond Bar Walnut Station.
Mr. Fox, do you have any more reports?
We have one more follow-up item for you from a couple of weeks ago. We have representatives from Southern California Edison that are online with us tonight that can provide an update for the recent windstorms that we experienced a few weeks ago now.
Hi there. I'll take that as my cue. My name's Aaron Mendez. I'm with Metro's Field Engineering here at Southern California Edison. Can you guys hear me all? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
So I was contacted by Southern California Edison's the representative for the city of Diamond Bar. Her name's Marissa. She's having some technical difficulties on logging on right now, but I'll go ahead and kind of fill in for what I know of until she can log on. But let me see if she had any luck. But just to kind of fill in, I believe the topic of conversation was a public or power shut-off, public safety power shut-off PSPS event that occurred during the windstorms during the January 8th time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And so I think one of the topics of concern was whether there was any projects or has Edison had any strategies to address the issues with the public safety power shutoffs that go on during the windstorms. And as far as I can tell, Edison has considered certain circuitries, the brakeman specifically, to be targeted for certain projects. There are in the pipeline already to be constructed and will be, and further projects are under review right now for approvals, and then, will be constructed in the future. So Edison is always on the task of trying outage times, especially due to PSPS. We are constantly doing things like undergrounding or doing covered conductors throughout all of Edison's territories to make sure that we don't have to shut off our customers' power. And that is something we're doing for Diamond Bar and the cities around the area. The brakeman is a circuit that traverses multiple areas. And so we are hard at work trying to find ways to mitigate the issues. That being said, I just want to remind everyone that the public safety power shutoffs are for, everyone's safety. We don't want to create any fires or start anything that, would harm citizens and our customers. During these public safety power shutoffs, if there is overhead lines that haven't been protected or, as we like to say, grid hardened, then, Edison will have a risk factor that we calculate and, we'll address it as such. But again, the projects that we are working on that we are trying to identify and get approvals for would help reduce that risk factor. I think that was it for what I had on my agenda to go over the brakeman. I don't know if there was further questions from anyone else.
Mr. Fausto, do we open the public comments or City Council's question?
No, this is strictly a presentation for the council.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Council Member Andrew Chow. Do you have any?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name because it got cut out a little bit. Was it Eric, you said?
It's Aaron, A-A-R-O-N, Aaron Mendez.
Aaron, okay. Thank you so much for being on the call. Yeah, I have to agree. During the windstorm and rainstorm that we had, there was a lot of shut off, especially in the brakeman circuit service area in the southern tip of Diamond Bar, and we did receive a lot of calls. I think everyone understands the precaution that Edison has to take to minimize and mitigate any chance of wildfire. But it did happen fairly frequently. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but I want to say it was a couple times over a 2-week period, at least 4 or 5 times that I can think of. So the question is there a way, I know you touched on this earlier, but is there a way to essentially reroute the brakeman circuit? Because I believe it extends south next to 57 South Freeway all the way down to the Carbon Canyon area. Is there a way to reroute the circuit so that it does not impact our residents when the wind hazards down south and not in Diamond Bar?
So let me see if I'm understanding the question correctly. But are you suggesting that the circuitry is kind of altered so that there isn't any overhead, or are you just saying so we could change the circuitry so it's not affecting Diamond Bar? I might be a little confused.
Yeah, I guess both. My understanding is that the high wind risk really is south of Diamond Bar in the high wind area next to the freeway in that open hill area. I believe that's where the high wind risk was. But within the city, specific within our city limit, most of our residents were not experiencing high winds within Diamond Bar. So I'm curious if there's a way to redesign or bypass the circuit some way that when you had to shut off due to high wind condition in Carbon Canyon, that does not impact Diamond Bar.
I understand. Okay, so this would kind of go towards my previous comment earlier. There are certain projects in flight right now and that are looking to be approved in the near future that will address having to, basically have a power shut off for the brakeman. These projects, while might not completely, there's no guarantee that it'll eliminate any need for PSPS. There are things that it will help maybe kind of reduce the risk factors so we can keep the circuit on even with a little bit of wind, or even reduce the time that the circuit's off. So there are projects in scope that Edison's taking. We're always looking to, target our areas affected by PSPS with certain types of projects to make sure that, we are helping the customers that we have on our circuit not experience long outage times. So to answer your question, there are projects under currently being constructed or to be constructed soon, and then there are projects under consideration right now.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Liu?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mendez, for coming on. I actually live one street over where the Brakeman circuit affects. So the street over from our house, it gets shut off, and we don't. And the area in the Brakeman circuit affected, it's a small part of Diamond Bar, and often get the question of why is it that we don't get shut off and they get shut off, and the wind is actually much stronger where we live. I have been to the residents, I've been to their homes. Many are elderly, and to the point that not only are they facing darkness in the nighttime, when the power is off for more than maybe 5 or 6 hours, the refrigerator, particularly the freezer, starts to melt, and they have to throw out all their food. And there is absolutely no wind in those neighborhoods. And that's the question I get most often. And that's the question I would like to ask. I understand that the part of the Diamond Bar that's gets shut off, it is a small part of the entire coverage that Brakeman circuit covers. My question is two questions. We actually have a retired power engineer that look at these circuits, and he has a plan. If we can get your info and I can pass it over to him, that would be very helpful. Two, you mentioned there are many different projects that have been working on. Or is there any specific projects or timelines that have actually been working on to address this issue? I've been, like I said, I've been out to the area when the powers get shut off. There were multiple times, and then there was one time it was for multiple days. That was very rough for particularly our elderly residents. And if we can get that to be fixed, that would be amazingly helpful for our residents. Thank you.
Sure, and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
My name is Stan Liu.
Stan Liu. All right, well, thank you very much for the feedback, and I just want to say, on behalf of Edison, we understand that it is not ideal to have our power shut off, and we try to avoid that at any, occurrence that we have, and, we apologize to all the customers when there are these events, the windstorms, any type of aggressive weather that would require PSPS. And, it's not ideal, and we're working on it. Like I said before, Edison's goal is to always target areas that have high public safety power shutoffs, because we understand that it's not in anyone's best interest to keep our customers de-energized. And like you mentioned, things can go wrong, when they're de-energized, they don't have their fridges. There's no ventilation, air conditioning, heating, and we understand that those are important things. So Edison is always under duty to take these things into consideration when we're sponsoring projects. You asked for my contact information for future correspondences. That will be my name, aaron.mendis@se.com. That is AARON.MENDIS@se.com. I welcome all emails from anyone regarding any questions I can't answer. To one of your last comments regarding what are the current PIPs, I'm not at liberty to say the exact project details and or the completion date, but I do know that of two specifically for the brakemen that will potentially help reduce reduce the need for power shutoffs during these safety events. They are a variety of projects that we're considering for the brakemen. There are considerations for undergrounding, covered conductors. So that will all help, reduce the need, reduce the risk factors for these power shutoffs. And so those are under consideration and soon to be in flight.
Thank you for that. I'm not saying that the emergency power shutoff is not necessary or it's a bad thing. So what we are saying is that circuit was built many years ago, that it covers a much greater area that involves a part of Diamond Bar. If that part of a Diamond Bar is on a separate circuit, then that would be helpful in not having the emergency shut off at that time. Like I mentioned, in these emergency if there's emergency situations, incidences, the area by my house has much bigger wind. We experience much bigger weather than is the ones that are a few blocks from ours, except that they happen to be on the Brakeman circuit. So that's what I'm trying to articulate.
I understand that completely. So one thing to note is Edison, our circuits change configuration at all times. Multiple reasons for that as well. We try to minimize that for safety reasons, but at times, due to different reasons, the configuration can change. And so if there is ability during these public safety power shutoffs to energize customers off of a different circuit, we will evaluate it to see if it is a safe and viable option. However, that being said, as to if we can transfer the load, that will take different, that will take a different project on top, and we'll take further kind of review.
The question is, can that part of Diamond Bar be broken off from the Brakeman circuit? That's the question I've been
So
asked.
That will take further review. I'm not able to answer that right now with the time. Those take Edison needed projects, whether it's a new circuit out of a substation and et cetera. Moving load for Edison from circuit to circuit, there's multiple factors that engineering has to consider, including these high fire areas. What are we moving? Do we have the load on the circuits? And that are unfortunately they're complicated topics to solve for, because there's load growth all around us, so we want to make sure that we have capacity for every customer before we move chunks of circuits over. So it will take more review, and I'm not at currently I don't have a definite answer for you on that topic.
Understood. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Lowe.
Thank you, Mayor. Hi, Mr. Mendez. Thanks for joining us. I guess, aside from having no power, having your power shut off, the next frustration would be to not knowing when it would come on, not knowing any updates, and not knowing whether or not it would be shut off again. Can you explain to me what would be the process of notification to the customers when they are experiencing the power shut off? And particularly, what would you do? Because if it's transmission of the information is through power and you don't have power, how would you accomplish the information sharing?
That's a fantastic question. It's Mrs. Lowe, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I do want to mention Edison is aware of communication needs, and they're constantly working and striving for better communication methods with their customers and the people that they serve in their communities. Regarding the other questions, unfortunately, I don't have the knowledge to answer that. That would be a little bit out of my department. I would refer you to ask Marissa that. at a further date, either in one of the email communications. She may be able to hunt that down and get better answers for you than I do. Unfortunately, the process of which Edison deals these communications for when the power is going to come back on, I am not anywhere involved in that, so I wouldn't have the questions for that. I'm just more project-based and kind of the risk factor assessment for these circuits.
So, so are you saying that you'll get back to us in terms of providing the plan of how Edison plans to share information? Is that what you're saying?
I will relay your questions to MRSA, who then can get someone who's in the communications team to answer. Marissa is telling me that she's actually on right now. She's saying that she needs permission to have her mic turned off. I don't know if anyone can assist her with that. If that's a possibility, but you may be able to answer these questions a little bit better.
Marissa, can you go ahead and unmute yourself? You just click on the red microphone. You are unmuted on our end. You just need to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we got you. Hi, Marissa.
Hi. Yeah, it was not letting me unmute myself on the app, and so that's why I was having trouble. I was trying to raise my hand. Your question, Councilmember Lowe, is in regards to our communications when PSPS is actually activated. Is that the question that you're asking?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly my question.
So when PSPS is basically activated, we actually have a process that we follow. We notify our customers through whichever way that they sign up, whether it's email, whether it's phone call, or whether it's text message. And it usually starts 3 days in advance of your potential PSPS event. And SCE basically issues notifications to public safety partners, such as local, county, and state government officials, letting them know that we are having this event. And then starting 2 days in advance of this event, we then notify customers. So we notify the agencies, our partners first, and then we notify customers starting 2 days in advance of the event. They get information and get notified. Most of the time, a lot of folks use text messaging, and that's how the information that they get, for that activity. And they're also able to look at the portal. We have the outage map that they can look at. But I know that there was some frustration during the windstorm that we had, that we were having a little bit of an issue on our outage map. But we're hoping that, we're getting all that corrected in terms of our communication tools that we need, so that for the future, we would have better availability of information given to our customers. And so that's typically the process that we follow. I think a few times I have been in communication with the council and also city manager via email, just letting you know specifically on the Brakeman circuit, because that is one circuit that was impacted this last event that we had. And as Aaron might have mentioned earlier, the circuit is shared between 2 cities, and that is City of Industry as well as City of Diamond Bar. And we're hoping that some of the things, the improvements that we are planning on doing, as Aaron had mentioned, that it will hopefully help, with some of the mitigation process that we have in impacting less customers. Hopefully, like covered conductor and potentially reviewing underground improvements as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that information. So the recommendation is that SEC customers really need to update their notification preferences with SEC to best receive the advance notice of the PS shutoff before it actually happens, right? That's kind of what you're recommending.
Correct. And the brakeman circuit, usually they have segments. So each segment will identify the customers of when they are going to be de-energized. And I'm not sure, Aaron, if you had mentioned anything about the segmenting of the brakemen at all.
Hey, Marissa, no, I have not mentioned the segmenting for the brakeman at all.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Marissa, did you want me to speak to that a little bit, or?
Sure. So that, because I know that the circuits are segmented. So not everybody, not the entire circuit is turned off. So there are certain segments that are identified by the meteorologist to say, okay, this segment is going to be out because of the trajectory of the winds or how the weather is going.
Yes.
So we do have these meteorologists that look at the weather 24 hours, especially actively during any kind of storm that we have. And so we're continuously doing that in making sure that we know which is going to be turned off at that time. As most of you know, PSPS is the very last resort for us in doing this because it's part of our wildfire mitigation plan that we submitted back in 2012, which was authorized and approved by CPUC. And so the PSPS is basically the very last resort in making sure that that nothing happens, endanger the communities that we have when it comes to these extreme weather events.
Marissa, are you able to share whether or not, and if you have it, what is your protocol with respect to monitoring the weather conditions while the PSPS is in progress? In other words, are you monitoring every 2 hours, every hour, every 6 hours, or is it? Do you have like we put it on and it goes for 4 hours and then we come back? I guess my ultimate question is, how closely do you track the weather to give to account for public safety, but also to account for to restoring the power as soon as it's safely possible to do that?
So in terms of protocol, as I mentioned, we actually monitor pretty closely how winds. So there's a threshold of wind that we have to identify and make sure. And I'm not sure if I see Rebecca and also joining us, and Aaron. I don't know if that's something that you can touch on in terms of threshold or no.
No, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to touch on to the threshold of which we consider, de-energizing circuits. I can touch on to some effects, some topics. I didn't believe what was mentioned is when do you guys get re-energized? And in certain areas where there are high, fire area areas around us where our circuitry goes through, it is common for our troublemen to traverse the area to inspect the circuit before re-energizing to make sure that there wasn't any damage after a public safety power shutoff. So in some cases, it's not immediately after the wind subside, but that all depends on the criteria of the circuit and what happened.
Rebecca, I'm not sure if you wanted to say something. You went off mute.
Can you guys hear me?
This is Edgar Ramirez. Edgar, we can hear you.
Hi,
You
Edgar.
use actually my manager here at Patrice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Rebecca forwarded me the invite. This is Edgar Ramirez, the manager for this area. Yeah, I think to Trevor's point, yeah, we're not the right group to address the question, unfortunately, but we do know that when it does get activated, like Aaron mentioned, right, once the winds, get reduced, we do have crews that go out there to patrol the entire circuit of the impacted area to ensure that nothing is damaged, so we can quickly restore power back to the community.
And I just want to remind also the council that when we do have this PSPS event happening, each circuit cannot be energized immediately because we have to make sure that it is patrolled properly by our troublemen. And especially if it is indeed a high fire area, the entire circuit will have to be patrolled as opposed to just the section that's out. And so that basically extends the outage a bit more than normal. When we activate what we call a bulletin 322, the 322 basically allows for troublemen to patrol the entire circuit before energizing. And so that's why it takes a little bit longer to get your power back on.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Mayor Pro Tem Tai?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of quick questions for you, Marissa. For everybody in the auditorium and those listening at home, could you please tell everybody what PSPS is?
Sure. Public Safety Power Shutoff. And it's basically a part of our strategy for our wildfire mitigation. While we know that, these PSPS can be really disruptive and really frustrating, but this is part of our wildfire mitigation plan that has helped communities by reducing the risk of catastrophic wildfires that we've been having in the community. And so this is part of the wildfire mitigation plan that was authorized and approved, as I mentioned earlier, back in by the California Public Utilities Commission, which is the state regulator for us here in California.
So at the south end of town, the brakeman wasn't a failure, it was planned PSPS, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And so we're hoping that our engineering team will hopefully have under consideration looking into the strategies or the improvements that we can put on the brakeman circuit, whether it's the covered conductor that Aaron had mentioned or having portions of it underground. These are all under consideration and review by our engineering team for future plans.
Thank you. This is the Mayor. I don't have any further questions, so I will thank representative from SCE to come to the city meeting to give us a talk and to answer questions. Thank you very much.
I wanted to just add, Mayor,
Yes.
if for future plans of collaborative efforts, I just wanted to let the city know that there are opportunities that you may be able to help during emergencies such as this Edison has what we call a community resource center, where we identify locations within your city that you may suggest would be conducive for something for our community resource center. And this is something I think the city may benefit from, and maybe add on to what we have a 2025 roster of our CRCs. This may be something that you may want to consider for the future. What I'll also do is I'll share some of the different websites as well as phone number available dedicated for customer support for customers who may need information or list of resources available for them in time of these wildfires, windstorms, or any of the storm events that we have.
So thank you. Please share those informations with our city staff. Thank you very much.
And I do apologize for not getting on earlier, but it was not letting me on. And thank you again for Aaron for covering in the beginning.
No worries, Marissa, and thank you to everyone at the city.
Thank you for both of you. Now we're going to.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. We are going to the public comments. Public comments is a time reserved on each regular meeting agenda to provide an opportunity for members of the public to directly address the council's consent calendar items or other matters of interest not on the agenda that are within the subject matters jurisdiction of the council. Although the city council values your comments, pursuant to the Brown Act, members of the city council or staff may briefly respond to public comments if necessary, but no extended discussion and no action on such matters may take place. There's a 5 minutes maximum time limit when addressing the city council. At this time, I will call up speakers who have submitted a speaker card first, then we'll call up speakers who have then City Clerk Santana will ask those callers joining the teleconferences who may wish to speak under the public comments. My first speaker card is from California State Assembly Representative Stephen Coronel.
Thank you. For the record, Stephen Coronel. Good evening, Mayor Tang, Mayor Pro Tem Tai, and members of Diamond Bar City Council. My name is Stephen Coronel, field representative from the Office of Assembly Member Elisa Calderon. Good evening. In celebration of Black History Month, the Assembly member is pleased to recognize the accomplishments and contributions of local Black leaders, small businesses, and nonprofits in the 56th Assembly District who have made a positive impact on our communities. On behalf of the Assembly member, it is my honor to bring a community spotlight to one of Diamond Bar's very own, Ms. Raphael Plunkett. Raphael is the current vice chair and former chair of the Traffic and Transportation Commission for the City of Diamond Bar and has previously served as the Parks and Recs Commissioner. She is also a member of the Diamond Bar Women's Club, the Pomona Valley branch of the NAACP, Tri-Counties Democratic Club, Coalition for a Just and Equitable California, and the Lineage, Equity, and Advancement Project. She has generously given her time to volunteer for many local organizations, such as the Diamond Bar Friends of the Library Board, the SGVD Women's Club, and Los Angeles Philharmonic Music Mobile, and so on. Her work embodies the spirit of our great state, elevating our communities and its citizens to new heights. On behalf of the Assembly member, Lisa Calderon, congratulations to you, Raphael, on receiving this esteemed recognition, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you, thank you. It's our city's honor. So at this time, I will pause the public comments. I have the representative come forward, and I want to have Raphael Plunkett to come forward, and city councils, please come down and join them for this ceremony.
Chamber of Commerce in Gable Valley thanks you and wishes you continued success in your endeavors. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors on this very well-deserved recognition. And as a club sister on the Diamond Bar Women's Club, it's great getting to know you. You're wonderful and a great inspiration. So thank you for all you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll resume the public comment. The second speaker card is from Aziz Ansari from Amir. Huh? Aziz, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Tang. My name is Aziz Amiri. I'm the CEO of the Regional Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Honorable Mayor Tang, City Council members, city staff, and the audience. The question has been asked, what is the Regional Chamber of Commerce in response to the wildfires in the area? First, our heart goes out to those members who have lost their lives, their properties, and employment. I want to thank our local firefighters, law enforcement agencies for their bravery and how they responded to the emergency. We want to also thank our city council members and our nonprofit organizations for collecting relief supplies to those who are affected. So thank you from the chamber. We in the chamber has our sight in the horizon. What is to come? What will happen in the aftermath of this fire? Over $250 billion of properties have been lost, which creates an opportunities for our citizens to participate in the economic revival of our region. The Chamber is involved with SBA, LA County Economic Development Corporation, LA County Department of Business Opportunities, and America Job Center of California, and we're in alliance with a campaign called Together for LA. Our chamber website has ongoing information updated as the news comes in to allow our members and citizens to access resources 24 hours a day. And did you know that the chamber has access to provide our workforce free training in upgrading the skills, whether it be in plumbing, HVAC, electricity, even EV training? Did you know the chamber allows access to its members to RFPs that are coming down the pipeline from various departments, federal agencies, local agencies, to participating, benefiting from the projects that are coming down the pipeline? And they are as small as services for window cleaning, security services, building maintenance, all of that. So I invite our public to participate and visit our website and take opportunity for the upcoming economic opportunities. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm here for the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker card comes from Cynthia Yu.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, city staff, and members of audience. My name is Cynthia Yu from the Member Library. Come and get crafty with us on Thursday, February 20th at 1 p.m. Whether your jam is crochet, knitting, or something else, bring your current project and work with other fiber artists. The program is for adults. Put on your cozy pajama, bring along your favorite stuffed animal and blanket, and join us for a mellow evening of stories, songs, and rhymes. This program will take place on Thursday, February 20th at 6:45 p.m. for ages 5 to 11 with parents or caregiver. Join us on Friday, February 28th at 11 a.m. for an emotional well-being and stress workshop. In this workshop, Department of Mental Health promoters will discuss the physical and emotional impact stress can have on health and well-being. Participants will also gain tips on how to handle stress in a healthy and productive way. Please visit our website, lacountylibrary.org, for more information about our services and programs. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker card comes from Ryan Garcia and Derek Lee.
Good afternoon, City Council. It's an honor to be here. My name is Ryan Alexander Garcia, and this is Derek Lee. We are representatives on behalf of a community service project at Diamond Bar High School, a personal project regarding a student, which is me. I'm the one who's leading it. And we are a Filipino-based community service project. As you can see, there's only 2 of us here today. Many of us couldn't be here, about 10 to 15 people, due to like school extracurriculars and other things. But we want to come to the City Council regarding help requiring a community service project. Previously in our first semester of our school year, we had collected balikbayan boxes, which are boxes that we had sent to the country of the Philippines, and we had sent 2 large boxes to 2 new churches and provinces. And we do want to reach out to the City Council regarding help in regards to hosting an event at possibly like City Hall or the Diamond Bar Center to collect donations and basic goods for those who had actually lost their homes and basic needs in the fire recently for the Palisades. And even recently as last week where there was a lot of mudslides due to the rains. You know, personally, we know people who have lost their homes and who have lost almost everything in the fires, and we want to do so much to be able to bring them back up on their feet. And not just us here, people who couldn't be here. We want to do so much, and that's why we're relaying this message to you today regarding help. And even if it's just one of you councilmen or the entire council team, we want to be able to work with you and set up an event to where we can host a large-scale event. And I'm not talking about like a small thing. We really want to connect with our entire community and bring forth this kababayan, or in which in Tagalog means like we're all part of the same boat, if that makes sense. And we want to be able to take care of all of our family, and not just our city, but the entire county as well. And no matter how far we can reach beyond like the state, even the country in the Philippines, which we actually did, and we want to aim towards even local things like the people in LA. If you do have any questions, we will be here after the meeting too. Please let us know, and thank you so much.
Thank you. That's all the speaker cards I have. Is there anyone else in the audience want to address to the City Council? City Clerk Santana, is there anybody on the phone or email coming in?
Mayor, there were no emails submitted for public comment tonight, but there are some callers on the line. At this time, if any member of the public joining this teleconference would like to address the City Council, please select the raised hand icon in the GoToWebinar program. And there are no hands raised, Mayor.
I will just close the public comment section. The next session is schedule of future events and consent calendar. City Manager Fox, can you please announce the schedule of the upcoming events and then proceed with the consent calendar?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The schedule of events includes the Planning Commission meeting, which will be held Tuesday, February 25th, starting at 6:30 p.m. in the Windmill Community Room at City Hall. There will be free catalytic converter etching on Wednesday, February 26th from 9 to 11 a.m. at Calvary Chapel on Golden Springs. Coffee with the Cop will be held on Saturday morning, March 1st from 8 to 10 a.m. at the Mugs on Golden Springs. Also on Saturday, March 1st, the annual Household Hazardous Waste and E-Waste Drive through collection event will run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Bridgegate near Kaiser Permanente here in the Gateway Corporate Center. And our next City Council meeting will be Tuesday, March 4th, starting at 6:30 p.m. here in the AQMD Auditorium. On the consent calendar this evening, we have the approval of the January 27th special meeting minutes and February 4th regular meeting minutes, approval of the check register dated January 22nd through February 4th, approval of the treasurer's statement for January, approval of a general services agreement with the County of Los Angeles through June 30th, 2030, acceptance of a sidewalk easement at the Walmart Market Center along Grand Avenue, and approval of a consultant services agreement with Buckman Infrastructure Group to prepare the 2025 Pavement Management Program update. And that concludes the consent calendar.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. Would anyone like to pull any items for discussion?
I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
City Clerk Santana, please call for the vote.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Chow?
Yes.
Councilmember Liu?
Yes.
Councilmember Lowe?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Tai?
Yes.
Mayor Tang?
Yes. Motion passed. And next session is a public hearings, and tonight we have no public hearings items on tonight's agenda. Moving on, we have the council consideration. City Manager Fox, please provide the reports.
Mayor and Council, it is time for the council to make appointments to the Parks and Recreation Commission, Planning Commission, and Traffic and Transportation Commission for the next two-year term. Following an open recruitment process, candidates were forwarded to the council for consideration, and I believe it's customary for each of the council members to announce their appointees. So I turn it back to the mayor for any announcements.
So we'll go from Councilmember Andrew Chow. Can you please make an announcement?
Sure, thank you. So for Planning Commission, I had the honor of nominating Bill Rollins, who served on the commission for the past, I want to say 3 years, maybe 4. I'm also nominated for reappointment Rafael Plunkett, who was just here earlier, to the Traffic and Transportation Commission, and also reappoint Andrew Wong to the Park and Rec Commission, and they've all served on the commission for some time now, a couple years now, and I think they do a great job, and looking forward to their continued service to the community. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Chow. Councilmember Stan Liu.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the honor of nominating to the Planning Commission Mr. Surendra Mehta for the Park Traffic and Transportation. I'd like to renominate Mr. Gary Busti. And for the Parks and Rec Commission, I'd like to nominate Mr. David Wu. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Next, Councilmember Low.
Thank you, Mayor. It's my great pleasure to announce my appointments. Ms. Cynthia Kwan is reappointed as the Parks and Recreation Commission. She's previously served that for 3 years now, and so I'm really happy to reappoint her. For Planning Commission, it's my great honor to nominate Mr. Brian Worthington. Mr. Worthington is in the audience today. Previously, he was a Parks and Recreation Commissioner, so we decided to use his talents in the Planning Department. He's, as with many of our commissioners, a longtime resident of the city and just loves our city dearly. For Traffic and Transportation, it's my great honor to nominate Ms. Amy Mao. Ms. Mao is also in the audience today. Ms. Mao is president of her Homeowners Association, and she too is a longtime resident of Diamond Bar. And I think she has a special interest in ensuring the traffic safety in our department. So I think she'll do a great job along with the other 2 commissioners. So congratulations, and thank you for agreeing to serve, and welcome to the Diamond Bar team.
Thank you. And Mayor Pro Tem Tai.
Thank you, Mayor. For Parks and Recreation Commission, I'd like to nominate Lee Mao, no relation whatsoever. For Planning Commission, Nyla Barlas. And for Traffic and Transportation, Patrick Mercado. We appreciate their willingness to serve.
Thank you. For my part, I renominate Mr. Ruben Torres as the Planning Commission, and Ms. Simon Mahood as the Park and Recreation Commissioner, and Mr. Ramulo Morales as the Traffic and Transportation Commissioner. And are there any public comments on this item? Is any of our nominated commissioner members want to make a speech to the public?
I think they say no. So having said that, I'm going to move that the appointments, that the council ratified the appointments as presented.
I'll second that.
Also, we have a motion, we have a second. Ms. Santana, can you take a vote?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Chow?
Yes.
Councilmember Liu?
Yes.
Councilmember Low?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Tai?
Yes.
Mayor Tang?
Yes, motion passes. So congratulations, commissioners. All right, we'll move on to the next item, council subcommittee reports and the meeting attendance reports and council members' comments. So I'm going to start with the council member, Andrew Chow.
Thank you, Mayor. Later this week, I'll be attending the Cal City State Board meeting in Rancho Cucamonga Thursday and Friday, and I'm also attending the COG director meeting Thursday evening, so I'll have more to report when I come back. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Council member Stan Liu.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank staff for wonderful meeting, and congratulations to all the commissioner, all the new commissioners. Thank you for stepping up to serve our city, our beautiful city. Thank you so much. And this Sunday, the Diamond Bar Community Foundation is hosting their gala fundraiser. There is still time to get tickets. All the proceeds go straight back to our community, servicing programs such as TV for Youth and the scholarships for our community. So I hope to see you there on Sunday. Like I say, good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Council member Low.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank the two commissioners that are here. Thank you for your service, and I want to thank the commissioners that are outgoing. Thank them for their dedicated service over the year. Welcome to our new Community Relations Deputy, Deputy Farias. Looking forward. Thank you for stepping up to do that job. You'll be a very popular person in our city, I guarantee it. But thank you for doing that. We look forward to working with you and to sharing the information about how to make our city safer and how to protect ourselves. And I hope that you'll enjoy the position as you go around and meet everyone. And welcome. This past week, I attended the Greater Los Angeles County Vectors Control District, and that's the mosquito control district, and we are working on abating of obviously mosquitoes. And I should have more to report as I attend the conference next month. And I believe I have a slide to show, and that is the Walnut Valley Rotary Club. March 3rd is the golf tournament. This is a fundraiser, and the purpose of the fundraiser is to help families that would be in need of food and during the holidays. I believe last year 100 baskets were given to needy families for the holidays, and this year the goal is to increase that even more because the need is very great. So if you're a golfer, or if you just like to eat lunch, or you just like to be outdoors, it's March 3rd, 2025 at 7:30 at Western Hills Country Club. So if you're interested, let me know, or let Steve Ty know. We can kind of set you up with golfing partners. Again, thank you, staff, for a great job this week, and thank you, and have a good evening.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Tai?
Thank you, Mayor. Just to piggyback on that a little bit, Councilwoman Lowe, oftentimes we hear somebody that you ask them, would you like to golf with us? Well, you know what, I don't really know how to golf. It's like, neither do I. Would you like to golf with us? So it doesn't matter. It's a great scramble setup, and Mr. Chow, I think, is now 3 handicap, so he'll be out there if you want to get in his cart. So there's 5 of us up here. We all chose to run, 5 people from the city of Diamond Bar, and it's encouraging that we have 15 people that have decided, yes, I'll step up and I'll help with the different commissions. So congratulations to all of you. We're very happy to have you on board. With that, I'll say good night and God bless you.
Thank you. And for me, I have a few slides to show. Can you have the first slide? Okay, I attended a meeting. It's called Wildlife Corridor Conservation Authority, and I'm the delegate from Diamond Bar City, and Diamond Bar City is part of this authority. And at the meeting, and it's announced that with a collaboration with a few other public agencies and citizen groups, that our neighboring Chino Hills State Park was able to acquire 720 acres more land, so that to expand the state park. The area that's been recently acquired is those areas with colored lines. There's 3 blocks with the color lines there. Okay, so total number is 720 acres. They are all on the very pristine area. I believe the report said they cover the ridgeline area, so it should be beautiful there. And also the goal is for additional 800-acre area. That's the area with the blue colors there. So these agencies trying to figure out some ways to get the grants to acquire additional 800 acres areas. So what is the importance of this project? Can I have the next slide? Okay, this is so-called wildlife corridor, and this is called the Pointy Hill Chino Hill corridor, and it's the green area between the 2 arrowheads, and the arrowhead on the top represent the Whittier and the Pointy Hill area. The arrowhead down below represent the Santa Ana Mountains. So the green area is very important for the wildlife to migrate in between these two areas. And so it is very important to preserve this area to avoid too much urban development in these areas, because the urban development will definitely hinder the migration of the wildlife. And this is a satellite photos. May I have the next slide? The next slide is the detailed map of this area. I think you can see the Diamond Bar is right there next to the Tres Hermanos in the center upper area. And so this agency, the Wildlife Corridor Conservation Authority, is working with 4 cities, including Diamond Bar cities, Bria cities, and Whittier cities, and La Habra High cities, as well as a few other state agencies such as Park and Recreation Department and Fish and Wildlife Departments, as well as a private citizen group called Health for Everyone. So we are these agencies are working together, trying to get more federal fund, more state fund, that so that together we can acquire the more area to preserve those areas, so that we will have a preserved corridors for the wildlife between these two mountains. So that's the purpose of these authorities. And in the future, if there's any more development and more acquisition of the lands, I will come to the meeting to report to everybody. And that's the end of my report. And with that, I will close this meeting. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you.